Saturday Night Football.
15 games was all it took Flavio Briatore to realise that Ian Dowie was not the man to take his QPR team forward. Caught the programme printers on the hop, but Greg Whelan spoke to Briatore about the sacking as he arrived at Reading today.
Can we ask you, why did you decide to sack Ian Dowie?
I think it was a decision of the board.
And why was that results related, or was it over an argument over who picks the team?
No, this is no argument. It's just a decision of the board. We are not happy, and simple as that.
Can I ask who's picked the team today for this Reading game? Is it yourself?
No, absolutely not. We have a coach in the bench.
And what's the time frame for finding a success for Ian?
I don't know. We're not rushing. You know, we have the player, but more important, we have the player. The player is there, and we have the coach. We have everything.
Can you let us know, is Terry Venables one of the people on your list at the moment?
I know nothing to say, honestly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
He's not afraid of big decisions. The search starts now for a new man. Before then, they have a job on here at the Medeski Stadium, where Reading have won 6 out of 6, scoring 21, conceding just 4 goals. We're live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1, channel 408. And what a start for the new caretaker manager of QPR, Gareth Ainsworth. Real baptism of fire for Gareth Ainsworth here today. Very good evening to you from the Medeski Stadium. In truth, the speculation on Ian Dowie's job started the moment he walked into Loftus Road. Peter Berge, were you surprised by the developments this week?
Not really. I mean, it was unfair and unjust, but not unexpected, Dave. I think there'd been mutterings for a long time, even at the beginning of the season. They didn't think that Ian Dowie was the right man for the job, and so not surprised at all.
Briatore insists that he hasn't picked the team here today, but Samuel De Carmody starts for QPR for the first time here today. Daniel Parejo starts for the first time since September. Do you think he may have had an influence along the way?
Absolutely, yeah. Tomasi, I think, is on the bench, come from nowhere as well.
For the first time as well.
So, I don't think that's coincidence at all. He's definitely had an influence here. And it'll be interesting to see how things go for Gareth Ainsworth's side.
Dexter Blackstock, their top scorer this season, is dropped to the bench. You're expecting a different approach, footballing-wise, here?
Well, it'll have to be. I'm very surprised by him being left out, top scorer, although he hasn't scored in 6 games. But, you know, he's a target for them. Di Camini, apparently, he's a big lad, can hold the ball up. Parejo will operate just in behind him. But they've been poor on the travels. They've only scored 2 goals. Only Barnsley with less goals than them. And it's disappointing. They'll be looking to pick it up here. But Reading score very, very early, and then the game's got to change, so he must have a plan B up his sleeve.
They have been absolutely prolific here as well. Let's get a full check on today's teams. 1 or 2 changes with Don Goodman and Ian Dark.
Turmoil QPR, all settled for Reading. They're unchanged for the 6th successive game. Kevin Doyle, top scorer in the Championship, and all 9 have been scored here. Brothers Stephen and Noel Hunt have been in sparkling form with 6 goals apiece, while 19-year-old midfield man Jem Karachan has emerged to keep one of Reading's regulars, James Harper, out of the side. Gareth Ainsworth only knew he'd be in charge for this game yesterday morning when news broke of Ian Dowie's sacking, and he's gambled in attack, dropping top scorer Dexter Blackstock and giving 20-year-old Italian Samuel Di Carmini his first league start, and recalling the ex-Real Madrid youngster Daniel Parejo. Ledgett Wood and Connolly get the jobs at fullback, with Ramage injured and Delaney left out. James Harper still battling to get back his place for Reading. He's on the bench. QPR for the first time feature the former Roma and Italy star Damiano Tomasi, one of those characters who's been linked with the manager's job. Now here's a young man making a name for himself. Is this the new Muzzy? Is it? He plays for Turkey under-19. He was born in London, and he's establishing a place in the Reading midfield this season. Jem Karachan is the name. Well, you saw that interview with Greg Whelan on the way in. Flavio Briatore didn't really want to talk, did he, about the manager's position, but Greg got him talking. Well done to him for that. They're not in any hurry to make the appointment, so it's the job of QPR winger and player coach Gareth Ainsworth for the time being. 35 years of age. And his phone hasn't stopped ringing, he tells me, since news broke yesterday. Today's referee, Chris Foy, yet to issue a red card or give a penalty this season. That is tempting fate, isn't it, Don?
Well, it's impressive, isn't it? Hopefully it spells the fact that he's willing to let the game flow a little bit. And I do think there'll be a nice tempo to today's game. We should look forward to it.
Both of these two sides normally wear blue and white hoops. So it's Queen's Park Rangers, of course, who have to change into a natty black and gold strip today. And what a job Gareth Ainsworth has to do here. Couldn't have been much worse, could it, facing the top scorers in England and the only side in England with a 100% home record. But he's gambled with an attacking lineup here. They're going to go for it. That was what he told me pre-kickoff. Not going to sit back and invite Reading onto us, so that should add to the spectacle here.
That's a brave decision, isn't it? He said, leaving top scorer Dexter Blackstock out and putting a couple of the, well, fairly untried youngsters up there.
It's Di Carmini's first involvement. A chance for him to make a name for himself. I was talking backstage with Peter Ramage, who's out injured today, pre-kickoff. We're asking him about Di Carmini. He says he's a very good player. We'll see. Queen's Park Rangers, maybe, after everything that's happened, there must be an effect, you'd think, on the players. Everybody a little shell-shocked with things.
Well, I know we've had literally a minute, but looking for the body language, and started very, very well. Like you say, considering the circumstances, it's impossible for them to have had a more difficult opening fixture without their manager.
Up towards Di Carmini, away by the ever dependable Inge Marsen. Reading won here in midweek against Doncaster Rovers, had to work for it. They were beaten last Saturday, having led at Preston. A crazy Inge Marsen own goal in that one. And they're having to play a bit of catch-up as well here, because both Birmingham and Wolves have won. They're on 30, Birmingham, Wolves 28. And Reading are on 23, so they can't move above third. And the danger is the top two start to get away.
That's exactly right. It's a big, big game for Reading here. Birmingham and Wolves have both done their part of the job that they would have wanted to. Just piles a little bit more pressure on Steve Coppell and his boys.
Gavin Mann. He's Rowlands, who is involved in that incident with the Swansea goalkeeper Doris de Vries in midweek. De Vries out with a broken jaw for maybe 6 weeks. He says he's accepted Rowlands' apology. There was a bit of a kerfuffle about that. 0-0 draw QPR got there. You couldn't get one past goalkeeper Alan Tate, who's usually a defender, who had to stand in. And there was a few long faces about that in QPR circles. It couldn't have helped Ian Dowie's cause, I guess.
You just wonder, don't you, if that was the straw that broke the camel's back as far as the board were concerned. They didn't even test Tate in the Swansea goal. Mind you, if there is a team that you don't want to play against, it's Swansea under those circumstances, because they keep the ball for fun.
Decent enough start here from Queen's Park Rangers. Di Carmini looking for the little 1-2 with Parejo, who's been recalled to the colours today. Been left out recently in Ian Dowie's selections. He's the boy who's on loan from Real Madrid, of course. And Di Carmini, by the way, is an arrival from Fiorentina in Italy, where he scored in the UEFA Cup last season.
It's not bad on the old CV, is it? They have certainly settled down in the opening stages of this game. Very, very well QPR. They've got Fitzhall's long throw. We've seen him score, actually, 2 or 3 goals from long throw-ins this season. Against Forest last Saturday they did.
Looking for it again here. Stewart is the target. He did win the header as well. Hall plays it back in. Aimed towards Cook. Back in there, and the flag has stayed down here, but it was claimed by Marcus Hanneman just as well too. And the break is on here. Hanneman, very good piece of work, and oh goodness me, he caused his problems there his opposite number, Radek Černý.
Well, Černý came out in anticipation of having an easy clearance, but the ball zipped up off the wet turf. They've been watering this ground before kick-off, and it nearly flew over the top of Černý.
Well, Hanneman's done just about everything at Reading, but he hasn't scored for them yet. PK won the header for Reading, who just can't stop scoring here at the Madejski Stadium. In every game they've scored at least 2. Somebody's thrown another ball on the pitch as Doyle played that back in out towards Gunnarsson, and that football is still on the pitch too. Now it isn't. Free kick for the foul on Stephen Hunt.
It's a stark contrast, isn't it, these two teams in terms of goal scoring. Now that's one thing that QPR can't afford to do, give cheap free kicks away in and around. We know about Stephen Hunt's delivery.
That wasn't the best one though.
Commentator's curse, wasn't it?
It'll happen later, Don, don't worry. Here's Bujaki.
Well, we're just saying the difference in goal-scoring fortunes of these two teams. Reading, as you said, just can't stop scoring. QPR away from home scored only 2 league goals and none in the last 3 games, and doesn't half make life difficult for you as a team. Puts more pressure on your defenders. Got to keep clean sheets to get points. And it all adds up.
You couldn't complain about them clogging the midfield with players today. They've gone for it a bit with Parejo playing up just behind Di Carmini.
It's fairly attacking, isn't it? Because you've got Rowlands in the centre of midfield that really likes to get forward. You've got your 2 wide boys that get forward. You've got Parejo and Di Carmini as well.
Stephen Hunt towards Doyle. He's already scored 2 hat-tricks here this season.
It's not bad, is it? To be fair, settled right down back in the old routine. Struggled for a few goals last season in the Premier League, but not so far this season.
He's already got more this season than he did last. BK. Cook's long ball for Di Carmini to chase. And it's well dealt with by Chris Armstrong, one of the new arrivals at Reading this season, the former Sheffield United player. Can play left midfield too, which will be handy, but it's Stephen Hunt, of course, who very much has the position now, although he did play left back earlier on in the season. Here's Noel Hunt, his brother, who's made a good start to life at Reading.
Tackles flying in, aren't they? Absolutely flying in. And Chris Armstrong thought that was his throw-in.
Well, it's the minimum requirement, really, isn't it, for Queen's Park Rangers in response to everything that's happened this week, to really go out there and sweat blood in the cause.
Absolutely. I think they'll do that. I think all the lads, likeable character, isn't he, Gareth Ainsworth? Not for a minute suggesting that he's got any chance of getting the job on a permanent basis.
Wonder if Ian Dowie is watching this somewhere.
I should imagine he might be.
Reflecting on life being a bit hard. 1 point off the playoffs. They were Queen's Park Rangers when he got his P45.
1 point off 4th position, isn't it? It's so tight up there. Not a bad record. It just makes you wonder what it's going to take the next man who comes in to hang on to his job, if that's the benchmark.
And a little bit of history repeating itself 2 years ago. As we look at Flavio Briatore, the man who handed the sack to Ian Dowie, He was sacked as the Charlton manager around this time, and the next game for Charlton was here at Reading, and they lost it 2-0. Seems he's destined never to come to the Madejski.
That would be spooky, wouldn't it?
Di Carmine. Bujaki with a good-looking ball back to him. Di Carmine again. Parejo's waiting in the middle, so is Cook. Ball never gets to them.
Inge Marson does ever so well there, gets a good foot in. Showed a bit of pace there, didn't he, Samuel Di Carmine?
Quite apart from scoring goals at home, Reading are not letting in many either, only 4 all season. So that is a potent combination. Ledgerwood, emergency right back today with Peter Ramage out injured. Ramage should be fit for the home game with Birmingham on Tuesday, if selected, of course. Nothing can be taken for granted at Queen's Park Rangers at the moment.
It certainly can't, can it? Certainly can't. Ledgerwood will, well, he'll have something to say about that. They'll be hoping for a really good performance here.
There's been nothing wrong with their defensive displays, generally speaking. 5 clean sheets, QPR. Connolly helping the ball forward, playing at left back today. He's another who's come back into the side here in Gareth Ainsworth's first selection. Cook with the header on towards Parejo. Parejo again. Inge Marson getting the tackle in. It's a real battle for possession and supremacy this so far in the first 10 minutes or so. A bit more than that.
Well, it is, of course, if you're QPR, you've got to come away here to what's been a fortress. You must keep things nice and tight in the early stages of this game. Can't afford to give anything cheap away.
Doyle here. 3 players around him. Did well though. Tibikabi breaking in on goal. Fantastic challenge coming in from Rowlands to deny it.
Well, I said Rowlands was good at getting forward, but I'll tell you what, watch the way he reads the danger developing here.
The corner very quickly indeed. Stephen Hunt dispossessed. Bujaki.
Well, they're in a hurry, there's no doubt about it. Every time the ball goes out, you watch how quickly Reading get the ball back in play. They want the tempo really high, something that Steve Coppola's obviously demanded from his boys, and they're wasting absolutely no time in getting the ball back into play here.
Both BK and Inge Marson are forward for this. BK won the header. He scored 3 times this season.
He's a handful, there's no doubt about it, from any kind of a set piece, whether it's a corner, a long throw, or something like that, where he's sent up for a deep free kick.
Rossini's ball forward. Cut out by a Jamaican Damien Stewart. It's another big game for QPR, isn't it, on Tuesday night at home to the leaders Birmingham. Couldn't have got really much tougher at the start for Gareth Ainsworth. I don't think the new manager will be in place by then. A lot of talk of Terry Venables this morning.
Yeah, it's a lot of guesswork going to be going on over the next few days or possibly weeks.
Job to do here though. Doyle made space well, didn't he? Stewart got it away. Picked up by Chris Armstrong. Because they lost Nicky Shorey over the summer, so they were looking for a left back. That's why Steve Hunt had to fill in there early on in the season. It didn't really work, as we saw that day at Charlton, I think it was, at Thriller, where they lost 4-2. I think that was the end of that experiment.
Chris Armstrong, very dependable player.
thing is Stephen Hunt's got too much to give further forward.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. He does. He's chipped in already 6 goals this season. Good all-round player, and Reading, along with Doyle, they've done ever so well to keep on to those kind of players.
Queen's Park Rangers, by the way, starting this match in 10th place. They could go 6th if they won it. It would be some win in all the circumstances. This is Bujaki. Back to Martin Rowlands. Took a little flick there for a corner kick for QPR, who have changed formation today.
Well, he has got a decent shot in him, Martin Rowlands. We've seen him score a free kick away at Norwich. Their only away win this season. Perfectly happy to pull the trigger if the circumstance allows for it.
It's the Queen's Park Rangers corner, which Hanneman grabs very reliably indeed. The goalkeeper, who, by the way, has started the last 90 league games here now.
It's an impressive statistic, isn't it? Especially when you consider a couple of seasons that's been in the Premier League, hasn't it?
Mistake by Rosinha. Parejo picked the ball well. Cook feeds Bujaki. Edgewood, careless ball really. Jimmy Cavey, he's played every game this season, Cavey, in the league.
It was an important foot in by Damien Stewart, wasn't it? As he was bursting through. Jimmy Cavey. Look good in possession, don't they, QPR? They look comfortable. Putting quite a lot of passes together.
Sometimes the firing of a manager, the immediate effect can be to give everybody a jolt, and you can sometimes get a big performance on the back of that. First goal here, maybe more than usually important from a QPR perspective anyway.
Certainly the way the opening 16-17 minutes or so has gone. Nothing really between these two teams.
We said early on, Queen's Park Rangers more than holding their own.
Absolutely, and 1 or 2 rumblings of discontent from the crowd here at the Madejski Stadium. It's a little bit harsh so early in the match when your team have won every single game they've played this season out there.
Yeah. But it's a fact that Cherney hasn't had a shot to save so far in the QPR goal. Armstrong gets it away. Reading not keeping the ball very well. Bujaki. Connolly looking now. Lee Cook. He's the winger who's QPR daft. It was a poor header away by Ingemarson. Went straight to Di Carmeni. And Gunnarsson gets it away in the end. Noel Hunt looking to pick up Kevin Doyle. No, not this time either.
Well, that sums up Reading's thing. They haven't kept the ball at all, and you can see here QPR are monopolising the football. It's not very often you say that about Reading when they're playing out here at the Madejski Stadium. You look at the likes of Stephen Hunt, hasn't barely touched the ball. Reading haven't been able to get him on the ball in a bit of time and a bit of space where he can work a bit of magic.
Noel Hunt beaten in the air by Stewart.
It's very quiet out there, isn't it? 20 minutes in. That's what they say, don't they? Keep everything tight for the first 20 minutes. Try and turn the crowd a little bit. And then play your game, and that's what QPR have been able to do so far. It's quite surprising.
I think most of the main chapters in this one are still to be written, though, Don.
There's no doubt about that.
Doyle finds KB. Karachan helping the ball forward. Again, another Reading move breaks down. Steve Coppell, I think, will be fuming at their inability to keep possession in any way. It's one back there by KB. Going way too long, really, for Doyle.
It's a straight ball, a long, high, straight ball. Very, very easy to defend against.
Stephen Hunt towards Karachan, who won the header. KB, this might sit down for a volley, it did, but maybe typical of Reading's work so far, it was tamely into the side netting.
Well, you likened Karachan to Muzzy Izzet, didn't you? And he burst forward from midfield exactly like Muzzy Izzet. And really, Jimmy KB, a bit more time to do a little bit better than that. Should be hitting the target from those kind of opportunities. It was a good burst from midfield, though, wasn't it, by Karachan?
And that was really the first effort on goal from Reading, 20 minutes in. The side who've hit 4 past Crystal Palace, 6 past Sheffield Wednesday, 4 past Swansea and 3 past Burnley here this season. I think they got a 5 against Luton, didn't they, too, in the League Cup?
They did, yeah. They certainly haven't really settled down into any kind of a rhythm yet, Reading.
Cool as you like from the former Tottenham goalkeeper Radek Cherny.
I just find it amusing when goalkeepers do that, you know. Will he do it again? Occasionally they try it once too often, don't they?
Now something might be on here. Stephen Hunt, again too close to the goalkeeper though. I'm told, by the way, that Flavio Briatore likes to go in the dressing room and give a little pep talk of his own to the players when he arrives at the ground too. I'm sure every manager would appreciate that, but I guess if you run the place, you can do what the heck you like.
Well, you can. I'm sure not many managers would appreciate that, actually.
Did that go out for the corner kick? Reading thought it did. The officials didn't. This game being played at an absolutely furious pace.
It's a good tempo, isn't it? Very, very good tempo from both teams.
But it's Queen's Park Rangers who so far have kept the ball rather better.
I just think they're finding far too much space unchallenged in the middle areas of the pitch. Boys that can hurt you. Give them too much time, too much space.
They've put together about 10 dozen passes here so far, not taken them anywhere much yet. Marn losing possession to Hunt, who's promptly gets it straight back again to Queen's Park Rangers. Anybody check Steve Coppell's blood pressure? Here's Ledgerwood, who cost the club £900,000, but despite all the money bags reputation of Queen's Park Rangers at the moment, they haven't really spent that much. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, we all keep waiting, don't we?
Good ball that from Connolly towards Di Camini. Oh, it's not a bad effort. Don't think it was going in, but Hanneman didn't know that. He couldn't afford to take any chances.
Well, it's a good run, it's a good ball, and it's good strength he shows to hold off PK under those circumstances. Excellent. And he gets a decent shot away at the end of this. It's curling in towards the goal. Not sure it would have gone in. Marcus Hanneman can't take any chances with that.
Really good ball too by Connolly, the fullback, to find him. Here's the corner kick. Here's Bujaki. Some artistic impression from him on the right-hand side, the former Plymouth man.
They're happy to be patient, aren't they, Queen's Park Rangers? They feel it's not worth going forward and pushing the ball forward. Happy to go back and keep possession.
Stayed in play by a fraction of an inch for a senior. Karachan. Chris Armstrong, the player who nearly gave up football to become a plumber a few years ago. So bad were his injury problems. It's good to say he's recovered fully. Doyle, lovely turn of pace. He's still there too. Doyle, classy stuff. Oh, and he nearly either curled that in or set it up for Noel Hunt with a header. In the end, neither quite happened for Reading.
Well, he's complaining after the event that his shirt was being pulled, and I think it may well have been, but he does ever so well. And this is the best moment of the match so far for Reading. The boys at the far post. Once Kevin Doyle cuts in here, and they know he's going to put that in. It's a decent ball in, and it's just a whisker away from Noel Hunt, who gets very, very close to getting on the end of that. You can see it's just curling away from Noel Hunt. Good football.
Best yet, that really, from Reading. And Doyle is really a Premier League striker playing in the Championship, isn't he?
I don't think there's any doubts about that. Real handful. He's a whole package, isn't he? Not just a penalty box predator, as you saw there.
Mind you, Reading are still waiting for their first away goal from him this season, strangely. 9 at home. Stewart forward towards Bujaki. And Stephen Hunt. He could cause a bundle of problems if he's not kept in check, but it's really well played by Ledgerwood. He's got a fair old turn of pace himself.
Well, Stephen Doyle will just about recognise that now. We've never come up against him in that circumstances before.
He's such a versatile player as well, Ledgerwood. Can do any number of jobs for the team, and it's certainly coming in handy today.
Oh, absolutely. There's not many central midfielders who would fancy their chances when being pushed out to right back, facing Stephen Hunt flying at them.
Has to be careful today, by the way. Ledgerwood is on 4 yellow cards. Another one, of course, means a suspension. Gunnarsson with the header on. There's Doyle again. And it looked like he was caught there by Stewart. What's the referee going to decide?
He's given a corner, has he? Because the assistant referee made no attempt to help the referee out here. I think it should probably be a free kick, shouldn't it? They've gone with a corner. Chris Foy was looking at his assistant referee, who made no signals as to what kind of decision to make. Left it up to Mr. Foy.
Journey importantly got height on his punch.
He likes playing against Reading, doesn't it? He's got 2 clean sheets in 2 games against them.
I think they remember him here with a shudder. He was playing for Spurs here back end of last season when they won, and he made a couple of absolutely brilliant saves to deny Reading a point which ultimately would have kept them up. It's mentioned at some length in today's programme.
I'll be hoping he doesn't come back to haunt them again here.
Some pretty football so far from Queen's Park Rangers at times, but has to be said, no cutting edge. And as Don was telling you, they have only scored twice on the road all season. Big problem.
It is a huge problem, as I say. It just puts a whole lot of pressure on the rest of the team when you're struggling to score goals. Confidence saps as well. And I think really we can only really remember the one shot, can't we, from Di Carmine, which was anywhere near an attempt on target.
Dealt with by Ingemarson. It was Steve Coppell's first signing at the club. He's been here 5 years now, the manager. Queen's Park Rangers have been through that many in the last couple of years.
Well, they have. It's Lee Cook tracking back here, as you can see. He doesn't get anywhere near the ball. When you go to ground, you're always running the risk of conceding free kicks. The 2 goals they got in the last home game against Doncaster Rover came from set pieces delivered by that left boot of Stephen Hunt. Or is it going to be the right boot of Karachi?
It is Stephen Hunt. And you could see the idea. It was Ingemarson attacking it. He'd made the run across the line of the goalkeeper.
Well, it only needs a touch, any kind of a touch from a striker or a defender for that matter. And Reading take the lead.
BK with the header. KB was strong enough to win the ball. Ledger would want it back.
Well, it's noticeable they've swapped sides, haven't they? Stephen Hunt and Jimmy KB. They're going to go at the other full-backs.
Just 1 or 2 signs of Reading growing in confidence and maybe establishing a measure of control. They will always fancy themselves to score here, and they usually do, as you've been hearing.
Well, certainly the last 10 minutes, they've probably monopolised the ball a little bit more.
Hunt, good ball. Right across the face of goal. Decent ball by Rosinha.
It was a decent ball, just didn't quite make a clean contact and get the pace required on it. Allowed QPR to defend it.
Miscue from Connolly.
Gareth Ainsworth out on his technical area now. He's probably seen the signs the last 10 minutes or so. Reading pushing forward, pushing QPR further and further back. Ominous signs.
Di Carmine. Comes to Gavin Marn, who was such a tower of strength in Watford's midfield for quite a long time. It's Parejo. Nice build up, couldn't quite find Di Carmine.
Lee Cook is out here on the left in absolutely acres of space. If Parejo could just get his head up and play that ball out.
Liam Rosinha. Taken very quickly by Stephen Hunt to Noel, his brother. Oh, nearly found KB. Out to Rosinha. almost bit by bit Reading turning up the temperature.
Well, it's good play, isn't it? Look how quickly Stephen Hunt's got that ball down, ready to play it. It was a quick throw from him that nearly caused problems. Lidget would again with last-ditch defending.
Taking them very quickly, these set pieces. That's by design from Reading. Just want to keep the impetus of their attacking work going. KB, good ball in, and it's a difficult hold that really for Cherney. Did it well.
I'll tell you what, he has made that take look so much more easy than it actually was. It reared up viciously off the turf, didn't it? Kept his eye on it and grabbed it.
It did actually appear 20 times for Spurs last season, with Paul Robinson having injuries and losses of form. Corner kick.
And again, just good defending from Fitzhall. We keep highlighting it's not where their problems are. You can see why. They've been able to leak so few goals, Queen's Park Rangers. Good defenders they've got. A bit more defending to do here.
It's the corner kick. Hard again from the very shore. So far anyway, Reddick Cherney. Lee Cook.
Quickly, Reading have got their men behind the ball. They're good discipline. And the men in the blue and white hoops.
Bujaki. Rowland's always available in that midfield. Parejo will keep that in play. Did it go out of play there? It looked like it.
He's not happy, waves an arm at the assistant referee on the far side, but he does miss the ball as he goes to drag this back. He misses it, but it certainly doesn't go out. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
There was the proof. Well, coming up tomorrow, the big top of the table clash. Chelsea against Liverpool, 1 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And also West Ham United against Arsenal, which should be a good one, from 3:30, same channels. Di Carmini back to Parejo. Those two linking up reasonably well without, so far, QPR finding too much cutting edge. But you'd probably say the same about Reading too.
Slightly different. QPR keeping the ball an awful lot in that middle third of the pitch. Reading slightly more direct. But they're getting more crosses into the box than Queen's Park Rangers now. So far not profiting from it.
Stephen Hunt. Oh, the goalkeeper has dropped this one. He dropped to KB. Was he fouled in the penalty area there? 1 or 2 howls, mainly from the crowd, and also, though, 2 from Noel Hunt.
Well, he drops it there. What happens after that? Well, look at that. Is it Connolly who's got his arm on the shoulder of Jimmy KB? Clearly, Chris Foy not in a position to see that.
Big decision, that. Cook helps it forward. Those Reading defenders will have thought they were going to face Dexter Blackstock, wouldn't they, today? He's on the bench.
Well, that's who they'd have been prepared to face, yeah. Don't think there's any doubt about that.
I might have been flicking through the QPR pen pictures to find out who Di Carmini was. He has featured 5 times for them. Not scored yet. Just the 1 in his Fiorentina days. In fact, he's only making the 9th senior appearance ever of his career here. Here he is in possession. Cook now for QPR. Di Carmini once again gets the better of BK. Smashing piece of work so far. What a cut back lays towards Bujaki. And now Mann. Nope, not like that.
Super striking play, isn't it, from Di Carmine? Shown us what he's got. Looks very, very capable, doesn't he? He's got a good turn of pace to boot.
I think you saw there a glimpse of the reasons why he got the nod for a start today.
Yeah, Gareth Ainsworth out quickly to applaud him. All his own work. Needs more of the same.
Stephen Hunt. KB helped it on, bouncing around dangerously in there, and Cherney making a good save from Noel Hunt.
Well, Cherney's going to be really relieved here, because as this ball goes up, he starts to come for it, look, and then he decides to go back. I'll tell you what, he gets away with it in the end because it's a high dropping ball, and Noel Hunt can't quite get the power required to get it past Cherney.
Five minutes from the break, and the top scorers in all four divisions can't breach the Queen's Park Rangers defence so far. Rowlands. Gareth Ainsworth will be very happy with his first 40 minutes as a stand-in manager.
Well, so far so good. Would have perhaps hoped to have tested Marcus Hanneman once or twice more.
Ledgerwood. Parejo. Now Cook. Away by Armstrong, under pressure. Parejo again.
He's had a decent half as well. You've said how quickly he is to get up in support of Di Carmine whenever QPR have got the ball. Parejo, he's a very, very creative player.
He scored 10 goals for Real Madrid's reserves in the Spanish second division last year, Parejo. Training there would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yes, a miscue from Noel Hunt. To be fair to him, he was the player that won it back again.
There's a tenacity about the Hunt brothers, isn't there?
I think they're really enjoying playing together, the two of them, providing assists, scoring plenty.
That's a wonderful, isn't it? Wonderful story.
Lee Cook. Now Gavin Marr. Now Akos Bujaki. Back to Mikhail Ledgerwood. Bujaki again into Rowlands. Nobody there. Not in a black shirt anyway.
Well, that's where Lee Cook perhaps would have been, but he took a little bit of a knock and he was down for a little while there.
By the way, I'm told the 3 goals that Wolves scored earlier this afternoon now puts them above Reading in the scoring stakes this season, before we get loads of phone calls from the Wolves supporters. Gunnarsson. Rowlands. It's Bujaki again. They've got a lot of good ball players out there, Queen's Park Rangers. What they really need, though, is someone who can stick the ball in the back of the net on their travels.
Well, they're not on their own in that department.
1-2.
Of course, one player who might do that for them is Rowan Vine, who's having a nightmare trying to come back from a broken leg with complications. Ledgerwood carried on with his run too. pleasing bout of passing from Queen's Park Rangers, but when they get to the edge of the box or in that area, it all seems to break down.
Oh, clearly been the story of the season. Away from home, hasn't it? Nice, neat football. Up to that final third and up to the penalty box.
I think that's what Flavio Briatore has said. He wants to have a team that's attractive to watch.
This is a results business. If you can do both.
You're really in business. Now then, something here maybe. Cook. Will he try to run Rosinia? That's a pretty disappointing ball from the winger.
It's a shame. Yes, they do. They're breaking the play up really well in the middle of that pitch, QPR, but then when they look for the attacking options, they're few and far between because they've got men behind the ball. They've got Di Carmine up front, occasionally getting isolated.
Gunnarsson. Ingemarson. Jimmy Caby with the header. Rosinia. Very, very strong, isn't he? BK, big Cameroon defender. That's the end of the half. No goals for Reading here for once. Now Queen's Park Rangers playing some pleasing football for their caretaker manager, Gareth Ainsworth. It's 0-0 at half-time at the Medeski.
And Reading, remember, had won 6 out of 6 at home before today. Maybe he'll be reflecting, who needs a manager after all? Certainly pleased with his first 45 minutes under Gareth Ainsworth. Is there even more to come from Briatore's team? At the break, at the Medeski Stadium, it's 0-0.
Saturday Night Football.
More football this evening on Sky Sports. Football first, the game of the day, Everton Man United. That's 8:25 on Sky Sports 1. And then this evening, match choices over on Sky Sports 2. You can have your pick from West Brom, Hull, the Weird Tyne Derby, Sunderland, Newcastle, and that Everton Man U game. That's all 10:30 Sky Sports 2. Spanish football this evening, Osasuna Real Betis down the bottom, 7 o'clock Sky Sports Extra. And up near the top, Barca in 4th against Almeria in 6th. That's 9 o'clock on Sky Sports Extra. Goalless here at half-time at Medeski Stadium. Might spoil 1 or 2 coupons this one. Reading had won 6 out of 6 here before today. And of course, all the turmoil this week at QPR without a manager after sacking Ian Dowie yesterday. Peter Beagrie is with us this evening. Peter, have you been impressed with QPR so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Started very, very well. Dominated possession. And they were very, very brave because they pushed up to the halfway line, condensed the play, gives the people on the ball extra options and tried to get a bit more support to Di Carmine as well. So I was very impressed with them first half.
Reading have played in really fits and starts so far. A penalty appeal they had, Pete. What do you think of it?
Well, I think that the referee gets it spot on, in all honesty. You know, there's a little bit of wrestling goes on. Cherney should do better and that, but he's aware of the challenge coming in. There's a little bit of contact, the arm on top of the shoulder, but he doesn't drag him back, and I think the referee gets that spot on. I mean, that all comes from a poor decision by the goalkeeper and a lack of power and presence from his point of view. We know that Ian Dowie was going to try and bring a keeper in as well, and that's the reason why.
Had you expected more from Reading, given the fact they've been so strong here, given the fact that QPR have been a team in turmoil?
Yeah, absolutely, but I think they've implemented changes, and I think one of the best changes they've made is Legiot Wood at right back, because he's got the pace to deal with the threat of Hunt, who's probably Reading's most creative player.
Well, just that one opening with Legiot Wood having a bit of a tangle with Kevin Doyle, who you thought maybe chose the wrong option.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Kevin here and he's one-on-one, isolates him, gets past him with his pace and his power. Should have been a foul. But once he gets into that situation there, he was in two minds, and I think he should have more conviction. He's certainly got the ability and the talent to whip it in far post and aim for the goal. You know, and if he miskicks it, it ends up as a decent cross.
It's actually Fitzhall, not Legion, were doing him an injustice there. Again, QPR going forward, they've been happy playing the ball in their own half, and 1 or 2 openings, particularly with this Italian we didn't know too much about, Samuel Di Carmini.
Yeah, but what we did know about him was that he's quite powerful and had a little turn of pace, and he does well to hold off BK there. It's a narrow, it's a tight angle, and Hanneman has it covered, and it was actually going wide. But, you know, at least he showed that, you know, he's got that ingenuity, he's got the power and the presence of mind to take on a shot and courage of his own convictions.
Does he need a little bit more support to play that lone role?
Yeah, absolutely. They're looking for Echo to get him involved, but he's a player that he wants the ball to feet all the time, and there were situations where Rowlands in particular gets in a crossing position, and as the build-up's coming in, we see Cook down on the floor, but as Rowland gets this ball, we can see him in the D there, and instead of going and supplementing the striker Di Carmini, he's still on the edge of the box. You've got to drive in there and get in between the full-back and make sure that you've got a two-pronged attack there. So he needs to be, you know, especially in that area when they've had decent possession and he's not sprinting in the box, he can just jog in there and make a nuisance of himself.
Well, QPR have had more possession than the home side in that first half. But Reading fans will know they've seen at least 2 goals every game at home this season. They'll be expecting more, certainly from their team in the second half. Well, maybe QPR will be growing in confidence. Gareth Ainsworth doing the talking. Second half up next.
Saturday Night Football.
And lots to look forward to tomorrow in the Premier League. At the top, Chelsea take on Liverpool from 1 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. There's a London derby as well, West Ham Arsenal, 3:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Here in the Championship, it's goalless so far at the Medeski Stadium between Reading and QPR without Ian Dowie. Wolves and Birmingham have both won today, Peter. Did Reading need to win here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about maintaining that momentum, that 100% record, and because they haven't been performing particularly well away from home, they need 3 points here today.
How are they going to do it?
Well, I mean, they haven't played well. It's as simple as that. They look the tempo. Usually in the second half, it's a very, very young and vibrant side, plenty of pace in it. And if QPR show any sign of wilting, you'll see Rossini bombing forward and Chris Armstrong from the full-back positions in the latter stages of this game.
So far, so good, though, for Queen's Park Rangers under Gareth Ainsworth. First 45 minutes passing without too much incident as far as he's concerned. The match commentators then, Don Goodman and Ian Dark.
Thanks, David. Well, the big headline in the Sun today about Queen's Park Rangers said, "Beautiful dream is turning ugly." Claimed that Flavio Briatore had been picking the team, exerting too much influence, and had a big personality clash with Ian Dowie, who it said didn't fit in with the mascara and man bags and glamour image of the club. Well, they're doing all right here today anyway against Reading. 0-0 under their caretaker boss, Gareth Ainsworth. All good talking points. It's what makes the game go round, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
Absolutely, yeah. QPR fan. There'll be some QPR fans disappointed. There'll be some excited about the future.
Very long ball indeed from Liam Rossini for Reading. Clocks go back tonight. Reading looking to turn them back 3 seasons to that year. They got 106 points, an English record, and 99 goals.
Oh, it's a magnificent achievement, isn't it? But they've already lost more times this season than they did in the entirety of that particular season, so they're not going to match that record, you wouldn't think.
Didn't do bad 2 seasons ago, did they? 8th place in the Premier League, to be followed by a heartbreaking relegation a season later, despite that 4-0 win at Derby on the last day.
It's not bad, is it? 8th place in the Premier League, but it's the here and now that Steve Coppell will be concerned about, and how his boys go about getting the 3 points out of this game.
Noel Hunt looking to play it in there, claiming handball there, but Chris Foy again is not interested. Queen's Park Rangers, have they got away with this?
Well, instantly Chris Foy looks over, and it definitely hits the elbow of Gavin Marn, doesn't it? He lifts his arm up in the air, it hits the hand, and that's a penalty, but he gets no help from the assistant referee, who's looking right at that from about 15 yards away.
Massive let-off looking at that again, because Mahn's arm was in a totally unnatural position, and therein, under the law, lies the intent. That did look like a stonewall penalty, not given.
Well, it's a huge escape. Absolutely massive escape. And Chris Foy, he needs help from his assistant referee here. As that ball's flicked up, Gavin Mahn's in the arm is in the air, and look where the assistant is. He has to see that from 15 yards away. And people will talk about the referee, but I blame entirely the assistant there.
Well, he didn't give it, that's the point. And he must have had an absolutely perfect view of it too. They must have just decided, wasn't intentionally, didn't mean to handle the ball, but when your hand's up like that, 99% of the time it's going to be given.
Absolutely. 99.9% of the time, you would think.
Noel Hunt down the line for Liam Rosigne. They're trying to get him bombing forward as much as possible.
Well, you certainly expect Reading to push forward more and cause more problems for Queen's Park Rangers in this second half than they did in the entire first half.
Vital little period of the game for Queen's Park Rangers to weather this, you'd suspect. Steve Coppell may have given a mini rocket to his players at half-time. That's curling in. It's a good punch, though, by Czerny. Pressure stays on. Ball going out of the line. Doyle can get a shot away. Ingemarsson's shot was blocked. And then Karachan wide.
Well, QPR just couldn't get the ball away, could they? It starts from the corner. Czerny punches it. And Reading keep it alive. Back into the danger area. The ball's bobbling around everywhere. And as it breaks for Karachan, you think hit the target. And he really snatches at this ball as it breaks to him here and pulls it really horribly wide, and he knows that's a decent opportunity.
Yet to score a league goal, Karachan. He got one in that League Cup win over Luton. Would have been a very opportune moment to have scored it, as Reading are frustrated so far. But with new resolve, here's Doyle. Just forced a bit wide. Great block from Stewart, who put his body in the line of fire there.
That's brilliant defending, isn't it? Kevin Doyle had a chance to take that strike a little bit earlier, delayed it a fraction. That's what allowed Damien Stewart just to get across and get that block in.
Rising Reading pressure. Stephen Hunt's corner. Away by Parejo. Again, this time Bujaki, everybody manning the pumps for QPR.
He's keen to get on with it, isn't he, Stephen Hunt?
Now there's a big noise too from the Reading fans. Not away, Gunnarsson feeds it wide. All Reading at the start of the half. Jimmy Caby. Karachan. Hunt again. Went past Parejo rather easily, but not past Bujaki. Reading want this breakthrough, and they want it badly. Stephen Hunt towards Doyle. Didn't quite get to him.
Well, you can see exactly what Stephen Hunt's trying to do. He's trying to whip that ball. He doesn't quite get enough bend on the ball to take it away from Czerny and into the path of Kevin Doyle.
Fast start to the half from the home side here, who look to continue the country's only 100% home record. It is in danger. Piqué almost played Rosigne into trouble. Free kick. This time Martin Yerby, the official on that far side, saw that one okay and signalled it to the referee.
You can take your pick of 2 free kicks here, can't you? I think Chris Foy wanted to play an advantage. Certainly not allowed to play an advantage, as that's a free kick there in itself, and then there's another one.
Queen's Park Rangers will want to get possession of that football back and keep it in those nice movements they had. Now then, ball down the side, Ledgerwood to Di Carmini. He's done well. Towards the back post, and it's hammered back right across the face of goal by Parejo. Chance. That's got to be a foul. Gunnison.
Well, it's livened up, hasn't it? There's no doubt about it. There's a better noise in the ground. That's a clear foul by Gunnison. Reading can have no complaints about that. It was a good break from QPR because they've been right under the cosh for the first 6 or 7 minutes of this half.
This is a welcome respite. They can take their time over this. You can see Reading's plan to really turn up the turbos.
Started brightly, Reading, second half. Trying to get a bit of memento, but I suspect QPR may take an opportunity to try and get a shot away here. Those opportunities have been few and far between for all their neat football that they played in the first half.
Parejo to take it. It seemed to move in the air. Hanneman looked a little discomforted for a while, but caught it okay.
Well, Hanneman looked like he was going to dive to his right, and then the ball seemed to straighten up.
And the goalkeepers are always moaning about the balls, aren't they? Saying they don't travel in a straight line, it isn't fair, and so on.
It's brilliant play by Ledgerwood, isn't it? Very calm.
Pique's given the ball straight to Bujaki, who nearly picked up Di Carmini's run.
Bujaki just after that head in hands moment, because he knows he's got the ability just to roll that in for Di Carmini. It's getting stretched, isn't it, the game now?
It's a good feel to it at the moment. Parejo tries to find Connolly. Parejo wants a free kick. Is he going to get it? No, the referee thought he'd gone to the turf too easily. It's another miscue, twice over by the Reading defenders. Bujaki! A shot which frightened the corner flag, but nobody else.
Well, I think somewhere in that sentence you said miscue, and that was the biggest one of the lot. First from 2 Reading defenders, and then unfortunately for QPR from Bujaki. Top scorer last season, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a player who was once signed by Jose Mourinho too, for Porto, for £400,000. He didn't play in that much. Here he is in possession now. Akos Bujaki, the Hungarian. Now Gavin Mahon, who's very much English. Doyle wants it long, but he's not going to get it. He was deeper, and disappointment for Reading.
Damien Stewart read the danger, and he's got pace to burn as well.
Gunnison, the latest Reading player to just lose his footing in the centre circle there.
Again, they watered the pitch at half-time. One or 2 boys have slipped. They watered the pitch before the game, again at half-time. Good surface out there, but if you get your stud choice wrong, you can lose your footing.
What would football do with a hosepipe ban?
Struggle for nice green pitches, methinks.
Not that there's much danger here with our weather. Stewart with the header. It really would be a feather in Queen's Park Rangers' cap if they were to come here and keep a clean sheet. Nobody else has got close. Stephen Hunt towards that near post. It was his brother Noel attacking it.
As he gets the ball, it breaks to him there. It's a good flick by Doyle, and Hunt attacks the near post, but it's a little bit ambitious trying to flick that ball in from there. Better serve trying to hold it up perhaps and bring midfielders into play.
Good noiser at the Medeski, where they average nearly 19,000 this season, which surprisingly is only the 9th best in the Championship. Just shows you how well this division is supported.
Some big stadiums and some big clubs plying the trade in the Championship this season, aren't they? You're right, it's impressive to think that 19,000 average, or just under, is only the 9th best.
They call them the Royals, Royal Berkshire and all that. And the man after whom the stadium is made, John Medeski, who made his fortune out of Auto Trader magazine, among other things. I think Dexter Blackstock is going to be introduced fairly shortly to replace Samuel Di Calmeni. Karachan diving into the challenge. That the top two in this division, Wolves and Birmingham, both won earlier on this afternoon, which means Reading need to win just to keep pace, really. Currently, as things stand, they started the game 7 points behind the leaders, Birmingham.
It's a hot pace at the top, isn't it? Average points well over 2 per game. Wolves and Birmingham. Reading would go to that mark if they were to win here, averaging 2 points a game. Normally enough to get you automatic promotion.
And the problem for Reading is 4 of the next 6 games are away from home. Some tricky ones. Cardiff in there. They've only won once away as well. Some people think it might be their Achilles heel.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Their away form certainly doesn't stand up anywhere near the home form, and that's something that they really are going to have to redress, and redress it pretty soon.
By the way, a massive game in this division next Saturday, when Cardiff City, who are coming onto the scene fast, play against Wolves. Noel Hunt stopped by Damien Stewart there.
I think as Damien Stewart cleared that ball, I think the follow-through went into the midriff of Noel Hunt, probably winded. As Damien Stewart swings through, just catches him in the middle. Flicks it on, and it's got so much pace, Damien Stewart. There's the contact right in the midriff.
Yeah, good spot, Donny. It's winded him, hasn't it? Take your time, son. Now Di Calmeni is replaced now by Dexter Blackstock, the usual first choice. It must have been a bit jolted when the team was announced this morning to find he was not in the starting lineup. Top goal scorer.
Well, we'll look for a reaction.
Connolly got that away, stopped it getting to Jimmy KB, who might get it now. No, he falls to the floor. I think this re-watering of the pitch at half-time has caught out 1 or 2 players with the footwear. We've seen a bit of slipping. Fans are certainly trying to switch up the decibel level to make things more uncomfortable for the visiting side here. They maybe just sense their side needs a little bit of inspiration.
Well, QPR, well, they're notoriously involved in tight games, aren't they? Tight away games anyway. I think there hasn't been more than a goal in it in their last 4 away games. We've got another one here. It's heading that way.
Yeah, they only lost 1-0 at Birmingham, didn't they? Noel Hunt. That just hit the stanchion behind the goal. Player they signed for £600,000 from Dundee United, for whom he scored against Rangers in the Scottish League Cup final, Noel Hunt.
You wonder how long it'll be before Steve Coppell thinks about making any kind of changes. Of course, he's got James Harper on the bench, driving force from that central midfield area, capable of scoring goals. That's what Reading need at the moment.
It used to be unthinkable, a Reading side without Harper in it, but he can't get his place back at the moment after injury. Cook is Blackstock's first involvement. Rowlands decides to go for it. Now then, Bujaki tempted, good effort. Hanneman at the second attempt, and then Blackstock really clapped it into him.
Well, he's got every right. It's an innocent collision. But what about the strike here from Buzaki? Very, very two-footed player. That's a really true strike. And when Hanneman palms that up, I think Dexter Blackstock's got every right to go for that. His momentum just can't stop in the end. What a super strike from Akos Buzaki. Hanneman does well to hang on to it in the end.
That was a bit the worst for wear, and it takes a fair bit to make a dent in Marcus Hanneman.
Heavy collision, wasn't it?
He's let that bounce, so no much choice, to be fair. Oh, mistake there. Blackstock is in. Can he finish here? BK really messed up. Parejo! And Hanneman grabs it in the end, but Reading almost committed defensive suicide there.
Well, once Andre BK lets this bounce, he's in a little bit of trouble here, and he chooses the wrong option, tries to hook it over his head, and Blackstock nips in. They can't take advantage of it, QPR.
You just felt there was a moment there where Blackstock could have got a shot away.
Well, possibly had half a chance. Had a really split-second decision to make it, and he chose to turn out and try and isolate Hanneman and put the cross in for Parejo, who, to be fair, hits the target and makes Hanneman save it.
Doyle. Rosenia. Towards Noel Hunt. Oh, he won the header, and he won it well. And he thinks he headed it down, and he's thinking 9 times out of 10 that would have been a goal. It wasn't.
Well, how well does he rise there? He's only a little fella, but he soars above Legion Wood. Heads it down, but Cherney's position is excellent there.
Tremendous spring from Noel Hunt. Superb piece of play by him. Chris Armstrong. Fitzhall. Oh, bit of a misunderstanding there between him and Ledgerwood. They were not tuned to the same radio station there for a moment.
Well, defenders taking chances, getting away with it so far.
Parejo, oh, great vision. Found Lee Cook. Cook's effort, Hanneman again. I sensed it might have just swerved a little.
I'm pretty sure it swerved. It's a couple of fantastic hits, isn't it, from QPR players. First Buzaki, and then Lee Cook.
Real cut and thrust about this at the moment.
Super strike, wasn't it?
Queen's Park Rangers playing with tremendous pride and spirit following the sacking of Ian Dowie yesterday. He probably can count himself a little unlucky with QPR in 9th place at the time.
It's the way they started the game, QPR. Started the game so well. They passed the ball, monopolised possession, and you could just see them growing in confidence. If they didn't believe they could get something out of this game before, they certainly do now.
Here's Rosenia, almost playing like a right winger now. The cross wasn't too much like a right winger, unfortunately.
Dexter Blackstock off the bench, trying to prove a point. Does well, closes down BK. Does he have the opportunity to shoot before that? Once he turns out, he's got the vision and awareness to pick Parejo out. That's only a half chance for Parejo. He does everything he can, hits the target. It's a comfortable save in the end, but Dexter Blackstock possibly wishes he would have pulled the trigger himself.
6 goals for Blackstock so far, top scorer for Queen's Park Rangers. Hasn't got any in the last 3 games, though. which means he's probably due one. That's the way he'll be looking at it. That's how you goal scorers used to think, isn't it?
Absolutely the right way to think, isn't it, when you're going through a lean period? Kind of a run's got to end sooner or later. Gareth Ainsworth, he's going to be thrilled with his boy's application.
Slightly strange sight for the QPR players to see their old right winger directing operations from the touchline.
I wonder if most of them expected him to be playing this season. Certainly not stood where he is now.
He's a bit of a cult figure among the QPR fans, isn't he? As he was saying to me beforehand, I was always an attacking player. I picked a pretty attacking team.
I do say teams can reflect their managers, can't they?
Noelhead has found Doyle here. He's not got a lot of support at the moment. It's cut out well in the end by Stewart. Bujaki wants handball there, and this one is given by the referee. Would he have given that if it was in the penalty area?
The irony is not lost on the Reading supporters, I can tell you that. Those in and around us going a bit mad at that.
Just harking back to Gavin Mann's handball, which, to be honest, looked a pretty clear penalty that Reading should have had right at the start of this half.
It certainly did. I reiterate, I would attach no blame to Chris Foy, the referee, for that. He needs help. That's what the assistant referees are out there for, to assist the referees in decisions like that.
But maybe QPR will feel that they deserve that break for their efforts here today.
I don't think anybody can deny it's been a first-class effort from QPR. Still a long way to go, though.
Just about at the three-quarter point of this game. In towards Blackstock! And Hanneman grabs it.
Well, they're starting to get some attempts at goal and make Marcus Hanneman really work, aren't they? It's a good leap. Just can't quite get the height on it to loop it over him.
It's a terrific piece of striking play that by Blackstock to get to that header. He just got ahead of BK and timed the jump too. Forward by Karachan. Free kick is given here as Doyle goes to ground.
He's worked hard, hasn't he, for little reward, Kevin Doyle. Damien Stewart charges right into him, through the back of him, bundles him over. It's a clear free kick and a dangerous couple of moments for QPR.
So the Doyle start of the afternoon, knowing another hat-trick would have taken him to 50 Reading goals. He'll take one now from anybody.
I think everybody in the ground wearing the Reading colours would take one. They're used to seeing bundles of goals out here, aren't they?
This might be a job for Stephen Hunt. Let's see. His left foot just to that side of the box. Whatever it is, it looks like an intricate plot that Reading are hatching. This may be all part of the routine. That's a funny-looking 10 yards. He's got a bit of a case there. Hunt. It is Stephen Hunt. He's got it over that wall, and it's wide.
Well, I think Cherney, he goes to his left, but he looks very confident that this is going wide. It starts just about on line with a post and curls away. It's a decent effort. Cherney in control of that. Gets the elevation to get it up and over. Cherney was in control there.
And Stephen Hunt again, up towards Kevin Doyle. Oh, great piece of play by Doyle, that. He loves to run into this channel. Gunnarsson.
Well, at that the moment you could see that Brynjar Gunnarsson isn't attacking midfielder, because he would have had a strike had he been so.
Jimmy Caby. Played towards Karachan. Fitzhall had to win it. He did.
Another example of the brilliant defending that those two Queen's Park Rangers defenders have displayed. Well, all four of them, actually.
It is a real battle for the points here. Queen's Park Rangers, a lot of people looked at the fixture, thought, well, managerless, few problems, not a chance really, away to a rampant Reading. Hasn't turned out like that.
Well, let's put it this way, I don't think anybody envisaged this ending in a 0-0 draw. Of course, there's time for it not to do so, but it's been very tight all afternoon.
James Harper's coming on now for Reading. First opportunity they get anyway. It's Brynjar Gunnarsson, the Icelandic international, who comes off. Hope he's not keeping his money in the banks over there.
Well, let's hope not. It's a positive move by Steve Coppell. As I said, I feel that Gunnarsson is more of a defensive midfielder.
They're all changing central midfielders. Khalifa Cisse, a man from Mali, takes over from Jem Karachan. So a new engine room here for Reading. Engine refit.
Yeah. The boys had worked hard. Fresh legs. We've got a definite goal-scoring midfielder out there now in James Harper.
Well, these were the two that started the season for Reading in central midfield.
Well, they've got a lot of strength in depth, and it is possession for Steve Coppell has been 9/10 of the law, hasn't it? Stuck with his team when they started winning. Didn't want to disturb a winning team.
Bujaki. Referee says player no it now. He's seen something he doesn't like now, and it will be Reading ball.
Well, I think that's harsh on QPR, because there's a couple of things where I thought that was a foul there, and then when he gets up, possibly another foul, but then Dexter Blackstock pulls Stephen Hunt down.
Well, he looks relatively calm, doesn't he, Gareth Ainsworth? This management game hasn't got to him yet. Stephen Hunt. And the challenge from Stewart was a muscular one, but looked fair enough.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's Legiate Wood, and it looks like Chris Foy's going to have a word with him. To me, that is an absolutely brilliant tackle. Fully committed, gets the ball, and there's nothing wrong with that for me. And it's nothing that Stephen Hunt wouldn't be doing if the boot was on the other foot. Two aggressive players going for a ball. Honestly, and I think Queen's Park Rangers are unlucky to concede a free kick for that. And if anything comes off this, a bit of controversy.
Harper plays it in. I just wondered for a moment there whether that was going to go for an own goal.
Well, it's Rowlands, isn't it, at the near post, protecting that hole. Jumps, gets a little nick on it. Cherney decides to leave it.
Play towards the near post. They're looking for the flick on. They don't get it. Harper again. No nonsense. Dexter Blackstock is the last defender.
Well, they've had their pockets, haven't they, of pressure, Reading. There's no doubt about it. On occasions this afternoon. Queen's Park Rangers stood tall. They're going to have to do the same here.
One goal could settle this one. Stephen Hunt plays it in there. And they want that point or more. Queen's Park Rangers.
The pressure's building. You can hear the crowd turning the volume up.
Yet another Reading corner kick. And Big Gay! Oh my goodness me, he was so close there. It seemed that way anyway.
Well, we knew he'd be a threat. Checks his run there, rises majestically. He just can't quite guide that back on target. He's so close. He has to crane his neck to get that ball back anywhere near the goal, and that's how close that was. It's a super effort.
Steve Coppell seeking his 100th league win as Reading manager today. A statistic he was totally disinterested in, quite rightly, earlier on.
It's typical Coppell, isn't it?
Marn won it for Queen's Park Rangers. You just wonder with QPR whether they're not only doing it for Gareth Ainsworth, but maybe a little bit for Ian Dowie as well.
Well, you would hope so, wouldn't you? His players.
Corner, QPR.
So they've had to withstand 5 minutes of pressure, Queen's Park Rangers, and now they get the opportunity to send the big lads up from the back. There goes Hall. Damien Stewart's on his way. They've got Blackstock on the pitch now. And you've got someone in Lee Cook who can deliver quality balls into that penalty area.
Beyond the far post, and Blackstock on the far side. It's the one who won the header, and I'll get another corner on the other side.
Well, he peels right round the back, Dexter Blackstock, and Hanneman just the fingertips it away. Wasn't really sure whether to try and catch that, was he, Marcus Hanneman?
They could really ruffle some feathers up at the top if they were to steal one here. Queen's Park Rangers. Flicked on towards the back post, and Blackstock was looking to pick it up on the back post as well. Oh, well,
first of all, the delivery, absolutely magnificent. Pace, precision, it's flicked on just a fraction too high for Dexter Blackstock from Fitzhall's flick on. Warning signs, aren't they?
Yeah. Refused to sit back, Queen's Park Rangers, and try to soak up the Reading pressure. They've asked a few questions themselves. Noel Hunt didn't quite pick up the run of Cavey. It was away by Fitzhall. Change come out here for Reading. On comes Shane Long, the young Irishman, to replace Jimmy Cavey. Long, who seems to be the perennial substitute in these parts.
Sure, it's not a title he'll thank you for saying, but he'll be a hero if he can come on and nick a winner here for Reading.
His only goal of the season against Burnley so far. Long. Connolly.
He's slotted straight in there, isn't he, on the right-hand side in place of Jimmy Cavey.
Cisse penalised.
There's just a little bit of frustration emanating around the ground here. This ball's taken, just catches him just through the back of the leg. And once again, they've sent the big lads up from the back. They're not hanging on for a point.
And Hanneman, it wasn't that easy to field, but he has quickly released it. Stephen Hunt is on the chase, but that shouldn't be a problem for Matthew Conley, the former Arsenal youngster.
It's a good idea, isn't it, from Marcus Hanneman? Really quick kick. Players breaking en masse. Just couldn't quite find them.
Lee Cook. Put a little chip in towards Blackstock. He can't do that. They might have said something afterwards as well, I think. Chris Foy.
Is he going for Parejo for kicking the ball away? Because he shot afterwards. He'd clearly blown up.
It is Parejo who's booked.
Dexter Blackstock commits the foul there, and then watch Parejo, bang. Chris Foy's stopped the play second. Can't argue with it.
Good leap by Noel Hunt. Couldn't quite pick up Kevin Doyle. Reading are running out of time, and they need the points to keep up with Wolves and Birmingham at the top. With this tricky little run coming up, 2 away games this week at Burnley and Bristol City. Tomorrow, Chelsea against Liverpool, live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1. The top of the table game from 1 o'clock. Don't miss that one. It's followed by West Ham and Arsenal, the London derby, 3:30, same channels. Long. Rosinia.
Been very disciplined, haven't they? Queen's Park Rangers. Cook, there it is, getting his foot in. And again, it's been a good shape for them. It's made them look solid, well organised. And they have broke forward quicker in this second half than they did in the first, Queen's Park Rangers.
Not the usual goal glut from Reading at home. Give Queen's Park Rangers credit for that, the way they've gone about their business today. Parejo, it is a corner. He's just lost control of the ball, much to his own chagrin.
Well, he had an opportunity to clear that ball, and he didn't. He dillied and he dallied, and he went back towards the goal line. Tried to be a bit flash. He's put his team back under pressure.
6 minutes left, and Reading nick it here. Oh, Cisse's header punched away by Journey.
Well, there's 2 pieces of brilliant here. To get the header on target from there, when the ball's behind you, is excellent. And Cherney, well done for being alert.
It's another Reading corner. Parejo got it away, was back in by Harper. That won't be a problem.
Well, take a deep breath now. Queen's Park Rangers, Radek Cherney positioned himself very, very well to deal with a header from Cisse.
The Nottingham Forest and Ipswich have prevented Reading from scoring so far. Cook down the side for Parejo. Good piece of work. Now there was that a foul by BK. Chris Foy takes a look.
Goal kick.
And he gives a goal kick.
Well, again, he was in position. BK dives in. Parejo, it's a good bit of skill. Does BK get any of the ball? Well, it's difficult to say from there. Now, that's the view that Chris Foy has got. And I think he's right. Even though BK is nowhere near the ball, I don't think he's anywhere near Parejo.
Another substitution coming up. Angelo Balanta is going to come on. Parejo's had a good game on his return to the starting lineup today. It's been very lively. Balanta, Colombian, who scored against Nottingham Forest last week. Now, was this a penalty kick? Let's have another look.
Well, does BK make any contact with Parejo? That is the question, and for me, I don't think so. I think Parejo's looking for that. This is what Chris Foy sees. The ball's away from BK, but he's nowhere near. And to be honest, Parejo, he's lucky not to get a second yellow for that. Although it wasn't conclusive, he could easily, if Chris Foy's not given a penalty for that, he must determine that Parejo's trying to con him.
Hasn't given a penalty yet this season. There's an argument for saying he definitely should have given 1 today.
Well, we're at 0-0 in the 86th minute. It's not been a bad 0-0, has it?
No, it's been lively. And you just wonder, is there a sting here? Stephen Hunt curls it in. It's too long for Harper.
It's Damien Stewart again that heads that ball clear. He's been a rock today.
Harper. Cook hits it long. That'll do for Queen's Park Rangers. Hanneman didn't really want to put it into touch, you felt, but needs must.
Well, Dexter Blackstock does well, or is it Balanta actually chasing that ball down? Puts Hanneman under pressure, forces him to make the decision.
Dexter Blackstock. Hope to be back in the side against Birmingham on Tuesday night. I'm sure Steve Cook was thinking, well, I hope they play this well when they play the leaders. It's great play by Stephen Hunt. Doyle battling away there with Ledgerwood. By Piquet. He's lost possession of the ball rather vitally. And it's going to be a Queen's Park Rangers free kick for that challenge. And a booking for Piquet.
Well, Lee Cook reads precisely what Andre Piquet is going to do here. Rather than clear it, he's not happy with the decision. But he takes a gamble. Instead of putting his foot through the ball, he tries to do the clever thing. Lee Cook has read it, and that's what had put him in the position. It's clumsy more than anything. Is it worth a yellow card? I'm not sure. And he's not happy with it.
Coming up to the last minute of normal time. Queen's Park Rangers, free kick. Lee Cook. Long. Reading looking to break fast, but not like that. Queen's Park Rangers would make it 3 games unbeaten if they hold on to their point here, or better.
Look at Ledgerwood's pace there. Absolutely outstanding. He's been another one back there. He's had a super game in a foreign position. Normally a central midfielder. To go and play at right back and play Stephen Hunt so well. Outstanding.
And he's an Ian Dowie favourite, isn't he? Signed him at Palace, didn't he?
He did indeed. Recognised his qualities. He'll be thrilled.
But whatever he said, whatever he did, he's got a response from these players today. It's a great tribute to the Queen's Park Rangers players that they've come out and given such a big performance in one of the most difficult away assignments you can have in this division.
Well, the most difficult statistically this season so far. Not a harder place in the country to go and pick up points than Elm Park, then Madejski Stadium, of course.
That was the last time Queen's Park Rangers did win away at Reading in 1997 at Elm Park. Seems ages ago, doesn't it? We used to play there. Anything this late would be cruel for the side on the wrong end of it. Armstrong. Hunt. Queen's Park Rangers working very hard to make sure a cross doesn't come in. Hunt's got one in though anyway. was well defended. Rosinha tries to feed it out wide to Cisse. Here's Liam Rosinha again. Lucky break in his favour. Doyle with a header! Didn't quite get enough on it. Stephen Hunt. And you just wondered for a moment there whether Reading were going to snatch it.
Well, it was certainly a hearts-in-mouth job, wasn't it, for Queen's Park Rangers? As Doyle got on the end of that cross, just couldn't quite get enough on it. And is that going to be Reading's last opportunity? You suspect that Queen's Park Rangers aren't going to be in any kind of a hurry to take this free kick.
Just a minute or so left of the added time.
This time Queen's Park Rangers leave the big central defenders back, and I think that tells you everything you need to know. They'll be absolutely thrilled with a point here if they can get through this next minute.
Cisse missed that there. Balanta had a shot, charged down. Fitzhall take no chances. It's not the easiest bounce that for Relic Cherney. I think he'd have preferred that to be belted into the stand. Shane Long has won the ball for Reading here. Comes up to Stephen Hunt here.
Oh, incredible. You would expect Stephen Hunt to control that ball. If he controls it, he gets the chance to shoot. Just can't get the ball where he needs it to get the strike away.
As you said, Doug, as 0-0s go, it's not been a bad one.
No, it's been very good. It's 93 minutes are up.
And it's going to be a long throw. Can Reading steal it with almost the last touch? They cannot. Their 100% home record has gone, and Gareth Ainsworth has masterminded Queen's Park Rangers to a very, very useful point in his first game as caretaker manager. His side gave a very, very fine performance here to deny the, well, before this weekend, top scorers in the whole country. It's Reading 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0 here at the Medeski.
Looked a bit sheepish, didn't he, Gareth Ainsworth? But he's got plenty to be proud of today. Good point for his side. The last 100% home record in the Football League has gone. That point for Reading keeps them in third place, but it means they lose ground on the top two, who both won today. QPR, they're in ninth place and just 1 point away from the playoffs. Still to come on Sky Sports, La Liga Football, Osasuna Real Betis, right now on Sky Sports Extra. And then later, Barca in fourth, 3 points behind Valencia against Almeria. 9 o'clock Sky Sports Extra. Tomorrow in the Premier League, Chelsea-Liverpool from 1 o'clock Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And it's West Ham against Arsenal, 3:30 Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Whatever those QPR players have made of this week's events, they have performed for their new manager here, and they will go back to London happy with a good point, a clean sheet. And when we come back, we'll get reaction from downstairs and from Peter Beagrie.
Saturday Night Football.
Well, on Thursday he was the reserve team manager. On Friday he was put in charge of the first team, and it looked like mission impossible here at Reading today. Gareth Ainsworth has come through it. Let's hear from man of the match Damien Stewart and Dexter Blackstock, both with Greg Whelan.
Well, Damien, it so happens you're the first team to take a point here at the Medeski Stadium this season. Now, in view of everything that's happened over the previous 24 hours, how satisfying a result was this?
Well, it was a great result for the lads, and because all the things that's going on at the club right now, I think this was a positive result for us.
You say it was a positive result. How big a test of character was that out there?
Well, with all the distraction going on, I think that showed that all the lads are focused and we know what we've got to do, so we've got to focus on the job and continue doing it.
How did the players react, incidentally, when they first heard the news about Ian Dowie?
Well, it was devastating at first, but as you know, we're footballers, so things like that happen, so we have to just continue to do the job.
Let's grab a word with Dexter Blackstock. There were changes in the team today, 3 in the starting lineup. You were dropped. What did you think when you heard the news?
Of what, me getting dropped or the
That's right.
Oh, well, we're a squad, you know, we've got a very good squad of players. I've started every league game this season. Felt a bit tired, so the rest is welcome, you know. So, as I said, it's about the lads. It's not about me as an individual playing every game. when I come on, I do my bit, and if I'm called upon to start on Tuesday, I give it my all.
Well, when you came on, you did make an impact, you did make a difference out there. To what extent were you playing with a bit of a point to prove?
No, I haven't got to prove anything to anyone, you know. I've done well at the club and good relationship with the staff, and that, like I said, it's a squad thing. If you're left out, you can't take it personally. That's football.
Well, congratulations on the point here at the Medeski Stadium. Damien, you're also the Powerade man of the match. Dexter, if you do the honours for us, please.
Okay.
Well done, guys.